Since Performance Max and Standard Shopping have the same priority, setting up Standard Shopping has become important again. To have a successful campaign in 2025, you need to use both PMax and Standard Shopping, and the Standard Shopping should follow this particular setup. The huge issue with shopping was the lack of control over keywords. You would start with a bunch of them, then realize you didn't want to pay the same amount for best probiotics and cheapest probiotics. I remember there were campaign setups where this exact method was the only thing that worked. For example, we had an online retailer who targeted plus-size customers, and Google didn't understand the difference between clothing sizes back then. The only way we could ensure this retailer only showed up for large-size searches was with this method. We didn't need people looking for t-shirts in general, we only needed those searching for large-size t-shirts. Nowadays, Performance Max is getting smarter and smarter, but there can still be terms and cases where you like to show your products on Google Shopping no matter what, or you want to control over which keyword you pay for what amount of money. So this video is for you, especially because I still see experts setting up shopping campaigns, calling it brand, and running a script that adds everything as negative keywords, which not brand. So obviously, still in the industry as well, there are people out there that didn't know this method or for some reason not using this method. However, I think this is the best practice for a standard shopping setup. So I thought it's a good idea to go through over the standard shopping campaign and see how it works, what is the best way to set up a standard shopping campaign. So let's dive in. So as I mentioned before, this is the best strategy for a standard Google shopping campaign. And actually it's a structured approach that maximizes your budget and performance as well. So this is how it works, and to be able to use it, to be able to utilize it, you need to understand how it works and why this is the structure you need to build around. So it's called the waterfall principle. There are other names out there as well, but I would use the waterfall principle. So it involves setting up 3 campaigns with different priorities to optimize your bids and capture the right queries. You might wonder why there are different priorities in Google Shopping. So if you haven't used them so far, well, basically that's why that priority is in Google Shopping. So you have a high priority, a medium priority, and a low priority campaign where you can you can play with those priorities in your Google Shopping campaigns. Obviously, the high priority has kind of like the highest priority. So the way this structure works, that we start to negate out, we start to filter out some terms from the high priority campaign so it can fall into your medium priority campaign. And in your medium priority campaign, we still filter some terms to fall into your low priority campaign. And this is how you can make sure to apply the right bid for the right keyword. So let's see what we are doing with the high priority campaign. So if you set up nothing, no negative terms, no anything like that, obviously the high priority campaign will pick up everything and your medium and low priority campaigns will got nothing. So with the high priority campaign, and it's a bit twisted logic, I know, so you need to understand how it works, because the high priority campaigns basically target all the queries, all the searches. It captures general terms, and you need to negate out from these general terms, for example, your brand terms and your product names and SKUs. Your medium priority campaign. So this campaign targets brand queries. It captures brand specific terms with negatives for specific products and names and SKUs. With the low priority campaign, this campaign targets specific products, names, and SKUs. It captures most of the specific queries indicating higher purchase intent. So this is how the structure would look like. And with negative keywords lists, basically you can control the structure, and also with the bids you set, you can control how much would you like to spend on each clicks for each campaign priority per each product or category. So as you can see, this structure allows you to bid differently based on the specific search queries. So typically you set lower bids for the general terms in the high priority campaign, higher bids for more specific queries in the lower priority campaign. However, there are a few things you need to consider because this structure is quite fragile. So you need to make sure that you use shared negative keywords list. So to ensure the consistency across campaigns you need to use shared negative keyword list. And you need to regularly review the search terms and adjust the negative keywords as needed. As I mentioned, this structure is quite fragile, so the shared negative keywords lists are essential to keep it working. I've seen structures fall apart just because people started to add individual keywords to individual campaigns, and then it created a mess by negating out the wrong terms from the wrong level of campaigns. You also need to target the same network groups and products. So this structure only works if you make sure that all the campaigns targeting the same networks and the same product groups. Otherwise, a product just can appear in medium priority campaigns and pick up a term that it shouldn't pick up. So you need to make sure that most of the settings are the same. So location targeting. So if you're targeting the whole US, you need to target the whole US for all the campaigns. It won't work if you target just California only with your high priority campaign, and then the medium and low priority campaign target the whole US, because what would happen is that outside of California, all the traffic will be picked up by your medium priority campaign, because there is no high priority campaign there. So you need to make sure that all other settings are the same. Also, there is one more thing that you need to be aware of, that the campaigns are running on a shared budget, because it won't work if it's not running on a shared budget. Because if some campaigns run out of the budget and Google needs to pause them, obviously the structure will just falls apart again. So for example, if your high priority campaign needs to be stopped working by Google because you would hit the budget, then obviously it will make your medium priority campaign as the highest priority campaign available to run, and all the search terms start appearing in your medium priority campaign, which you didn't want. So So you need to set lower bids for your high priority campaign. You need to set a moderate bids for your medium priority campaign, and you need to set the highest bids for your low priority campaign. This is why I said it's a bit twisted logic, but once you understand the logic and how it works, I think it all makes sense why you need to set up this way. You also need to monitor the SKU level performance. So keep an eye on each individual product and adjust them accordingly. You can also implement audience lists and retargeting for better results. Once you have enough conversion data in each priority level, you can consider using some automated bidding strategy, especially for your high priority campaign, where probably most of the conversions will fall at the first time, but later on most of your conversions should fall into the medium and low priority campaign. So I hope by now you understand how the waterfall principle works for standard Google Shopping campaign and how it can give you a granular control over bidding strategies and help you optimize your spend and enables you better budget control and better keyword control. And while Performance Max campaign uses machine learning for optimization, there are still cases where the standard shopping works very well next to a Performance Max campaign. So use it on your own advantage. Use the standard shopping as well over Performance Max, because once Performance Max identifies a keyword that is working for you, usually it's better to target that keyword with a standard shopping campaign, fine-tune the ways, fine-tune maybe which product you want to show for that specific query. So you have much more control over your targeting versus Performance Max. So actually this is just the usual visualization of the purchase funnel: awareness, consideration, and action. And for a better visualization of why we call it the waterfall principle, this is why we call it the waterfall principle. So to summarize everything in this video, this is how the waterfall principle works for a standard shopping campaign. You have 3 priorities within your shopping campaign: high priority, medium, and low priority. You need to use all the 3 usually. It targets different stages of the buying funnel, so awareness, interest, and action. And the high funnel, the high priority campaign will capture the high funnel searches. Generic terms you didn't know will work or not, but you will target them and you give them a low max CPC. In the mid-funnel campaign, you will put some brand terms and intent terms with a slightly higher bids, because people are more interested, people are already searched. So that's how you can control what you want to target better. And for the bottom of the funnel, you target product terms and keywords that convert well historically and can provide you enough conversions and high conversion rates. So this is where you want to have your highest bids in within this Google Shopping structure. So I hope it was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions regarding this structure and in the comment section below, and I'm happy to help you.